NoireXotical, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the main event of the evening. In the blue corner, we have the female losers, the naughties. And in the red corner, the beautiful, the charismatic, the undefeated, high-flying exoticals. I'm kidding. A showdown of the Zaddies versus the naughties. I swear. I'm kidding, I swear. The champ is here. Kidding. Sort of.
Walks by me every day. Exotical, no, she ain't the same. The woman's like a foreign car. She's a star, beauty is her name. Exotical, exotical, most beautiful girl in the world. Beauty is her name, like Drew Hill say.
Well, in all seriousness, I want to say that I have been under the weather. So I've been a little MI to the A, recovering, and I missed y'all. Quick disclaimer. The content of this video is intended solely for observation and discussion purposes. The views expressed reflect my personal perspective and insights, and is in no way meant to criticize or demean anyone. My aim is to share lessons learned and encourage thoughtful dialogue. So, just an observation, just my take, and some lessons. Mindful, I'm not for the faint of heart, so when I get to talking about something that I am passionate about, keep in mind that I am not coming for anyone's neck. No. I am just incredibly passionate. Thank you in advance for watching. Okay, off topic. I struggle with not using foul language. I am still learning how to censor myself and my activity when necessary. Apparently, I can't sit still. I'm so passionate and expressive that I end up hitting my headset. I'm clapping, I'm beating my desk, hitting the mic, and I have to re-record and re-record, and sometimes I just say absolutely not and close my laptop. So yes, I have a ton of content I haven't posted because I just grew tired of editing, and more importantly, I grew tired of myself. I have to learn how to be passionate and not hit the mic, child. These are some of the reasons for my delays in sharing, so I have to learn how to take time. Take time with me. Anyway, let's move on. Now, I recorded a video in response to the mass tagging from a very angry, very aggressive, very very beefy sounding woman, and the overall attack on exoticals. In the video, I covered a number of things. The recession or depression we're all experiencing on some level right now with receipts. I carefully dissected the anatomy of the exoticals smear campaign, and you can't do that without mentioning the New World Order, the Age of Aquarius, astrology, what may or may not be hidden in plain sight, the awakenings, allyship, so on and so forth. But I've decided to take a step back and reduce the bulk and piecemeal it and focus solely on allyship and allegiance today, because the word ally gets thrown around a lot and I'm not sure if we all know what it means. Nevertheless, it gets thrown around a lot, and that's a huge part of why I have ended the relationships with the most people I've ended relationships with. The topic of allegiance and allyship is very personal. I can most definitely speak on this because of my character and my experiences. So anyway, I ended the relationship because, one, they were too weak. I don't have a nicer way to say that, but I deemed them too weak to stand with me, too impressionable, not firm, not solid enough, too naive, too easily dyed in any color, too wishy-washy. These folks could be sold anything. So subsequently, we could never truly foster a dynamic with allegiance because the love was one-sided. It's unrequited love because you can't say you love and support me and see me as a friend while arm flailing like an inflatable tube man at a car wash when uncomfortable or when confronted. That's an anyway, anywhere the wind blows type of person when they're supposed to be standing on business. How, fam? So, no. Um, Allegiance is a deep seated loyalty and commitment. We don't need to complicate it, we don't need to expand on that. No, it's just allegiance is a deep seated loyalty and commitment. Plain. It's so deep seated that when who you support is under attack, something in you jumps out. It's visceral. It jumps out and you speak up and out in support of the party under attack. Make sense? Allegiance requires, right? It requires an emotional investment to guide your actions. It requires an emotional investment to guide your decisions based on shared values and goals, right? Allyship is the proactive support and advocacy for the space you support. It goes far beyond mere acknowledgement. It requires allies to show we the people the money, to stand on business, to leverage their privilege in whichever environments they frequent, child, to challenge injustices and promote equity. Someone is being shady. Something is small. Someone being shady, you speak up. Whether aggressive or poised in delivery, that's up to you. But you never cower. You never laugh at a serious matter or bring fodder for gossip, for opposition to use against the space you support. That's counterproductive and oppy. Very op-coded. No, you speak up and out. You can't have one without the other. You can't. You absolutely can't. So how do they work together? I want to explore how allegiance and allyship work together. I have never seen it articulated in this way because I believe most people are scared to advocate for themselves, to demand anything meaningful, and set boundaries that others may deem too high. So, how do they work together? I would start with building trust. Allegiance fosters trust, right? And that's essential for effective allyship. If there's a strong sense of loyalty, that will encourage people to act in the best interests of those that they support. Allegiance and allyship both thrive on shared values and goals. Allegiance motivates people to stand with a cause, while allyship transforms that motivation into tangible actions. Allegiance creates a foundation for mutual support, and the allies provide the necessary backing to the supported communities, while those communities share insights that inform and enrich allies' actions. When you think about growth, allegiance involves a commitment to personal accountability, right? Allies have to confront their own biases and adapt their approaches based on feedback from the communities they aim to support. Some relationships, there I go hitting the mic again, some relationships are irreparable. But if it was built on allyship, or what was represented as allyship, you still have a duty, you still have a responsibility to honor that dynamic. And that's where accountability, growth, and maturity come in. Can't have one without the other. So why can't we have one without the other? Why one cannot exist without the other? Why is that? Well, I believe that recent events on YouTube and different social media platforms, are a perfect example of why. But why not? Let's explore. Allegiance without allyship can lead to the wrong road. a road to passive loyalty, where people may feel attached to a cause but fail to take any meaningful action. And this stagnation can hinder the overall space's progress. You can't come to me and tell me what gossiping folks said without telling me why they felt so comfortable airing their grievances about me to you. And most importantly, did you say? What about your friends, TLC? Did they stand their ground or did they let you down again? Allyship without allegiance can grow superficial very quickly. If people lack a genuine commitment to a cause, their actions may not resonate or address the true needs of the group. A lot of the allyship comes off as fluff, or as you selling me candy or selling someone candy. To some may wonder how an ally finds himself in this position. How do you find yourself in this space? But it's honestly a result of superficiality. It wasn't fortified. So the foundation, the allegiance, was never really there. And the absence of allegiance can obviously erode trust. Without trust, allies are going to struggle to engage in meaningful dialogue or collaboration, limiting and hurting the impacts of their efforts. Right? Lasting social change requires both allegiance and allyship. Allegiance provides the emotional motivation needed to sustain the commitment, while allyship ensures that efforts translate into action, right? This whole concept of neutrality is a misnomer. It's misleading. I often call it a dirty little word. Neutrality is misleading in contexts of social matters. It leaves all sorts of wiggle room for BS, for song and dance, and room for you to explain your way out of wronging me. Choosing to remain neutral often means allowing injustices to persist. So that inaction, that neutrality, can perpetuate systemic issues rather than challenge them. Counterproductive. Neutrality can imply that all perspectives are equally valid, right? So what does that do? That undermines the lived experiences and dismisses the urgency. Again, counterproductive. Against. Contra. Right? Things we don't want to be when we're an ally. So how do we show that allegiance? What does that look like? Allegiance looks like advocacy. It looks like participation and engagement and collaboration. It looks like amplification, right? Advocacy. It looks like someone supporting initiatives that uplift the attacked group, right? And in this case, it's the exoticals. Participation. It looks like engagement in campaigns or community building aligned with shared values. It's what else did I say? I said amplification, right? So it's big, it's loud, it's you using platforms to elevate the voices and experiences of the exotical community. That's allegiance, that's allyship, right? And if it doesn't look like that,